welcome to your daily AI news, where we work to demystify the latest advancements in artificial intelligence and explore how they're reshaping our world. The idea is to learn with us and have fun in the process. I'm Noah McDonough.
Hey yo, Rick Ninja here. Let me just double check if everything is on. Yes. So here I am once more. Glad to be here. Let's get started.
Yeah, we had a little bit of some audio issues, so if you guys are hearing anything, please type into the chat for us and let us know. We don't always catch stuff with all the systems that are running here. So let's see. Let's get into it. Let me go ahead and actually, I don't think I have my screen share set up here. Let's do. Let's see if I can get that going right now. Let's go with this guy here. There we go. All right, so new in the news here, OpenAI ChatGPT 4.0, the mini launches. So basically the summary on this one is OpenAI has dropped ChatGPT 4.0 Mini, a faster, cheaper variant aimed for developers needing lightweight performance. Why this matters, it democratizes AI by cutting computer costs and making smart assistants available for indie builders. Some questions that it brings up, though. Does it make it kind of like the Raspberry Pi for large language models? Just like the Raspberry Pi sort of democratized coding and computing. GPT 4.0 or 4.0 rather, Mini might be the entry point for everyday builders into serious AI work. Implications for indie developers and micro startups. You no longer need VC funding to build a powerful AI app. This model gives solopreneurs real firepower at low cost. Product strategy. Why replace GPT 3.5 Turbo? Is this part of OpenAI's shift to sunset older models and unify their ecosystem under GPT 4.0? And also, what does it mean for other lightweight models? How does GPT 4.0 Mini stack up against Claude Haiku, Gemini Nano, and Mistral 7B, and Llamas 3 8B? Some other questions. If you guys have any, please go ahead and submit those to us, and we'll look into it. It's kind of a new one. I don't know, Rick, did you see this one coming, or was this kind of a surprise for you?
No, in a general sense, yes. I don't remember, and I really don't remember if we talked about it. I think we did though, but in very different language. So what this is basically a specialized kind of AI. So instead of being very universal, approaching like multiple topics, like you go to ChatGPT, you ask about anything, and it will give you an answer. It's more specialized, so it has a niche. So this idea already exists. So throughout this specialization, it's faster, and it's the term I believe they use is kind of lighter. So you do not have too much information, which it makes it faster. If I'm not mistaken, I could be wrong here, but the concept behind is the specialization aspect. So that's pretty cool. So basically, you can have something much faster. Let me give you an example. When you are developing prompt, there was an advice, which is before we start, if you're going to go for something very specific, let's say you're going to go study like ancient Rome history, you kind of train ChatGPT. And basically, that means you say you're going to be my professional historian. You specialize from this area to this area of ancient Roman history, and so on and so forth. And then after that, they say you get better answers. I don't know if it's still like that, if it improved, but that's kind of the idea, that specialized aspect of it.
Right on. What do we have next?
So let me see right here. Let me share my screen. So this week is been very interesting for content generation. Oh, let me do this first. So we have this, and it's incredible that time passes and I discovering others tools that I have never seen before. So this is one, and it seems like they brought the one 2.2. It's another Chinese, I believe, uh, and I'm saying that because of this wording right here, and it's pretty cool. It seems close to the Mid Journey. It seems very Mid Journey like. I did try to create something funny here, but they do not give me free credits. So let me try like this. No, no free credits. Yeah,
No fun for you.
nope, nope. And I think that's I don't think that unless I said that before, and I want to say that again. If they are entering the market, unless they have the market established, I don't think it's a good strategy, right? To not have the free trial, because I do think there's so many tools, and thank goodness there are so many tools that people are going to stick with the ones they already have. So unless they have a strategy behind it, I imagine their strategy behind is basically just to conquer a new slice of the market. But this, even though it seems very good, it seems like I said, like Mid Journey, uh, basically Mid Journey, right? But it's pretty good though. So I would like to eventually try it out. So this is nice. Yeah. So for one, I'd like just to bring this one. Eventually, I'm gonna try it out. I figured about this one 2 days. So, no, actually yesterday. So I just wanted to bring this new video because that's where I'm going for. What I'm going for. It's video and content generation.
Done.
So pretty cool.
Cool. All right. Let's see. Let's go. Let's go ahead and take a look at this next one here. Screen share. There we go. Another one that came up here in the news is New York's AI hiring Bill of Rights. This is kind of interesting. New legislation proposes required transparency in AI-driven hiring decisions. So why this matters? This could ripple nationally, reshaping how AI is deployed in human relations tech. Some questions this brings up is, and what we're looking at here is actually the Assembly bill itself from the New York State Senate. Is this the first real kind of algorithmic Miranda rights? If passed, it would mandate AI usage disclosures and give applicants a right to explanation and human review, like being read your rights during an arrest, but for hiring. Could this spread nationwide? Similar to California's CCPA inspiring other states, this might trigger a domino effect of copycat bills. Also, what happens if companies ignore it? Explore potential fines, lawsuits, and hiring freezes if companies can't quickly adapt. What about historical analogies? Resumes and keyword filtering and redlining. What happens when bias is baked into the algorithms or is found to have been baked into the algorithms? And then job seeker implications. Will the bill actually help candidates or just increase red tape? I don't even know how you'd really monitor that. So this is going to be an interesting one to sort of follow. And then corporate compliance challenges. Could this kill off certain HR AI tools that can't explain their own decisions? So that's an interesting one there. I don't know if you have any thoughts on that, Rick. That one just kind of popped up. I don't know why I didn't hear about that because nothing moves fast on legislation. So I would have thought I would have heard something about this before it actually dropped.
When did that one came out? Do we have the date there?
That actually, I
see
think
if
last week sometime. I mean, I'm sure that the bill was put together a long time ago, but.
Mm-hmm. All right, so let me show, because I don't know if this is just, uncertainty, right? So they are bringing uncertainty over AI. So sometimes I think that some groups bring uncertainty and they put their hands on it. That's sometimes what I think. So since we have that one, I do have a positive one that I see that an overall was like a gold mine, very positive, very interesting. And I talked, I believe, in the last episode about the both the to being about being optimistic and how to work in the dynamic of AI market and all the other parts involved, right? So let me share my screen here. Just one sec. Okay, let me do this. All right. So I believe we do have the screen there.
Do you need the full or just the?
Oh, we can do the full. And I'm gonna be very brief over here. Let me see, my sound is on. Awesome. All right, we there. Let me see here. Perfect. Yeah. But so I have the delay here, guys, so that's why I was just double checking. So I really enjoyed, for example, those guys title. And this is right in California as well. So Stanford University. So this is interesting, Noah. Human-centered artificial intelligence. So that's something that I've been saying, and I said, "Oh my God, those guys listened to our podcast last week, and they built up this in a week, and they already are making analysis."
I'm
And
sure that's what happened.
right, I mean, if last week was 2019, because then I went to look how those guys are out there since 2019, and because I feel like this framework is the best framework that we can have, human-centered artificial intelligence, meaning it's like we know that there are going to be problems with AI, therefore it does not mean that we need to accept those problems, but to obstruct the positive progress of AI because of possible detriment, I do think it's not the smart decision. So what I see over here inside Trump's ambition, and this is even though of course is a Trump's ambition AI action plan, I'm not bringing the element political element, right? But just like the present administration, and of course, merit where merit is due. This is due to Trump because I believe through here I went through all this, and this is pretty positive. And there has to have that political element because Biden administration have done basically the opposite. So I am not gonna go through the whole thing, but I do encourage everyone interested in the topic to go through. I'm just going to go through some overall points. So the White House favors market-driven growth and light governance, signaling a departure from the previous administration. So basically what they bring it out here is that the previous administration was very rough against AI. But I do think this would be something that I would not be very pro, meaning 100% market-driven. AI being 100% market driven, because then we would have all those possible problems developing in a fast pace, right? So like every negative aspect would truly develop in a fast pace, and like nobody would care. But then, right, if you go through over here, you have other elements. Since I brought this element, let me go to the point, which is shifting from light perspective, but I'm going to go back to here because this is also pretty amazing, pretty good. Shifting from prescriptive regulation to light touch governance. So what they bring over here is that even though there will be a market, and I don't even think the correct word is to say that they're going to make it market driven and to have that as a central idea, because they are going to pursue to strengthen the mechanisms that observe and are able to see what is the detrimental AI, and those are those mechanisms over here, and there are multiple of them. And not only that, but if I go back a little bit, so implications for academia and public sector AI. So this is the dynamic. It's because they are not only making a market the center of it, but they also bringing the public sector and academia to it. So it's a dynamic thing where you're gonna enrich and enrich in the sense of give more possibilities to academia and to the public sector to work with AI as well. And then you have a parallel development of the public sector and the private sector. So that dynamic is very good. And it gets better. So a commitment to American workers. Like same thing that we talked, right? So we do want to observe not only the workers getting to the AI workforce, but of course there also want. I believe it's a smart idea to have structures observing where the workers that are losing their jobs due to AI or any other technologies, what to do with them, right? Like which other opportunities are there for them, and then to have that social structure in place, that structure in place. And here, potential implementation roadblocks are red ahead. They bring a lot of the elements here and what's next. It's a pretty amazing. It's very well written. The authors are people from Stanford and from this group right here, Human Centered Artificial Intelligence, Stanford University. So I strongly encourage anyone interested in these elements to take a look because it's really bringing all the parts of that dynamic of a new technology as such, uh, a human shifting technology, and bringing all the parts together to positively work in its best development, and also to bring its best development, therefore being aware and being following up with the possible detriments and be able to react if anything happen. So on that one, that's all for me. But it's very strongly encourage people to take a look on that one.
I don't know. It's a good resource. We'll include that in the show notes as well. Let's see. I'm going to go ahead and move on to our next topic here. Tesla's Optimus robots, they're getting factory jobs. Just today it was announced that production snags have been hit. This comes to us from Business Insider. Tesla's humanoid Optimus robots were announced to be performing simple tasks like sorting and logistics at Giga, Texas. But today reports surfaced that production is falling well short of targets, with output stuck in the low hundreds due to design and supply chain issues. This matters because Tesla isn't backing off of its automation goals, but the road to replacing human labor with humanoid bots is proving bumpier than expected. Delays in scaling highlight the gap between ambition and execution in real-world robotics. So some of the questions this brings up are real versus hype. Is it legitimate? Is it a legitimate early test of robotic labor, or is it more of a PR play? We revisit how far Optimus has actually come since the launch. The scaling stalls. Tesla aimed to have 5,000 robots by 2025. Current prediction estimates, a few hundred at best. What does it say about the viability of general purpose robots compared to the competition? While Amazon's Kiva bots have scaled, Tesla's humanoid format faces unique mechanical safety and cost hurdles. It leads to questions as to why Tesla is sticking with the humanoid form factor of the bots. I do have a buddy that's in the robotics area, and actually, when mimicking the human form, the hands down, pun intended, hardest part are the hands. This number of cycles that hands can deal with is pretty amazing. I mean, the human body repairs itself like all bodies do, but robots don't really repair themselves. So hands are proving to be like really one of the toughest ones to really have, long-term cycles with. So is there something better for the job than trying to mimic a humanoid type of robot? Labor implementation. God, I can't speak today. Labor implications. Even delayed, Optimus represents a looming question for labor. If Tesla does solve these bottlenecks, are warehouse jobs next? Which kind of ties in a little bit to one of the concerns there. It looks like Stanford had brought up in the previous article. And then Elon's automation endgame. Musk still insists that Optimus is worth more than Tesla's car business long term. But will scaling delays shift investor and regulatory focus? Any comments on that one, Rick?
Well, I do think it's both. You said is it a public relation there move or something else, right? Uh, I do think that it's a he'll definitely do that, right? And about the hands thing, the I remember I've been not following up too much about the robot Optimus. Therefore, the I remember they where he could maneuver an egg, right? So you could see
Hmm.
that the hand had some um, sensibilities there that are could be rare to be achieved on robots. And it really depends on like when we say that. Sometimes we imagine like the robot just walking back and forth and doing everything, but no, like machinery or if it's very limited kind of motion, then it can start over there, and he is delivering what he said. But we're gonna see how it's gonna unfold. But it's gonna be interesting. I think it's inevitable in a sense. But let's see how that goes. Not sure if for an assembly, not sure if robots would be ideal. Don't know how that would work, but I don't work in an
Yeah.
assembly. I did once, but
I mean, I
yeah,
could see some of the real advantages being, if you build a robot that isn't humanoid, the world that we live in is based on ergonomics around the human form. So if they could overcome, limitations of kind of like, the hands wearing out, or maybe a fast way to replace the hands, I could see advantages there because then they could be deployed in any types of environments that humans could be put into.
yeah,
But it's kind of cool that different companies are taking different approaches. That Amazon is kind of doing purpose-built robots, with ergonomic forms that are more adjusted specifically to the job, where Tesla appears to be sticking with the humanoid form. It'll be interesting to see where that leads.
yeah, exactly. All right. So what I have here. So now let's get a little bit over entertainment. So Runway. So Runway and IMAX partner on this exclusive presentation at the 2025 AI Film Festival. I believe almost every, not this year though, but almost every festival they had, I've been part of. I produced something. So it's very cool to see that they are bringing, like they are developing, bringing more and more. I had a hard time, like it's not, I don't know if it's me, but their workflow in generating, I did not got used to it. I need to go back and double check how that's going. Because sometimes we just get used to some workflow that it's easy to go for a different one. But so I see so many good things, so many good works from Runway that I do need to go back and see how their tool is working. And like this,
I'm not familiar with the history of Runway. Can you kind of give us some insight on that, or?
I mean, I'm not very familiar with necessarily their history. Uh, Basically, what I know, like I think it was one of the big ones when I started with AI, and they started in perfect timing, just like with Pika Labs, Mid Journey,
Okay.
and so many others.
So they would be a direct competitor to Midjourney then?
Exactly.
Okay.
Yes. Different concepts, though, I believe. Runway seems to be a very directed to filmmaking, while that the Mid Journey has a broader kind of aspect with AI, not only exclusively for filmmaking, but also it could be considered to generate like a real time world, right? So we do have this on Runway, but now I'm gonna bring as well another news from Runway, and this is where it's amazing, right? So this Runway introduced Runway Aleph. So Runway Aleph is a new way to edit, transform, and generate video. I have not tried, but through their examples, it seems amazing. And like a lot of times, we look at those products, and a lot of times, what become is just like the best of the best. And when we try it out, like 5% is what's desired. But for what I've seen, it's just been getting, and for what I use, it's just been getting better, better and better, right? So I have right here, for example, Runway Aleph. So a new way to edit, transform, and generate video. So one big thing here is consists of, oh, actually no, have a possibility to go through each of the versions of the Aleph, and they also have, I don't think we talked about it, they also have launched something last week, which was the second act. So don't remember if we talked about that. So here I'm going to go very quickly through each one here. So here, for example, we have the original video. And then basically we just ask for a wide shot and it generates a wide shot out of this original video. Then we go for extreme close-up, and basically all we are doing here is generating new camera angles for the same video. And this is spectacular. I think that's the word I can say. It's very spectacular because we are having, and let me see here. Yeah, we do have a very decent continuity. So it's very, very decent, right? So generate the next shot. So this one here, it's a little bit tricky. So here's the original video, shot one. Let me see if I can, okay. So shot one is the continuity, right? So it's a little bit tricky because it's kind of slow motion. It's kind of weird motions there. It's not like the kind of continuity that it makes sense, right? So here is just an extreme close up. And here's shot three, same thing. It's kind of awkward, the guy going back. Like I said, concept excellent. And like next generation, it's going to be incredible the way they develop their work. So here they tell us the different styles that we can work. So we have like a hand drawing, and it's going to give that continuity for the different styles. So this is pretty amazing. Changing. So this one caught a lot of people's eyes. Change environments, locations, seasons, and time of the day. So this is kind of the original video, and here like rain. So make it rain, right?
True.
Right?
Yeah.
Pretty impressive. So here we have sandstorms. Here's the original video. Sandstorm.
That looks painful.
Right? Freeze. So this is pretty impressive.
That's cool.
So city, original video. And here we have the, so it's pretty cool. So add things to a scene. So let's add fireworks. So you add the fireworks right there. Very well done. Palm trees, same thing. Very well done. If no one is looking for it, they not gonna figure it's AI, right? And this is just like their launching. So one big thing here is that it's already very impressive for a launching, for the launch, right? The first time we're seeing it. And add the crowd. So that's nice. Remove things. Remove the smoke. So like this is such a, look at this one. Remove the person. Remove reflection. That's something interesting. Yeah, so this is amazing. So this is pretty good. So change objects in the scene. So this remembers a lot the second act. So maybe it's kind of a variation of the second act, but it definitely fits over here. And apply motion. Apply the motion of a video to an image. Okay, so reply a drone footage. So let me see if I understand this. Apply the motion of a video to an image. I think I understood. So they took the motion of this drone right here, and they had a picture. I wish we had the picture here of a field, and then it just added this motion here to the picture. So this is pretty cool. This, by the way, is kind of one of the interests of Midjourney to create a kind of real-time, real world, but I don't know if this is considered that. So what we have here, alter a character appearance. Old man, young man, adult to child. Man, that's nice. And look at like the details. It's like clothes. Yeah.
So are these all starting from scratch, or are they taking a combination of some footage that's been taken and then applying the AI? Do we know?
So you have a footage, any video,
Mm-hmm.
and then you type the prompt. So
Okay.
for example, make it down.
So
this
on
is
on the left, that's what was actually taken from the camera, from
exactly.
the video camera. Okay.
Yeah.
Huh.
So this is the video. Then you get the
Interesting.
prompt, very simple prompt.
Yeah.
So transform the scene to appear as if it was shot during golden hour. So you have all those elements there. So it's very, very impressive, right? So make it daytime. So you have an original video and you give a prompt and it changes the whole video. And that's nice. I mean, I can't repeat that enough, right?
Yeah, it's cool.
Right. So it's great progress. Yeah. So on runway, that's what I have.
Okay. Very cool. Thanks for sharing that. All right. Let's see. Last article that I have in the list here. Let me go ahead and share my screen. OpenAI has been sued for ChatGPT defamation. This comes from Global Legal Insights. A tech executive is suing ChatGPT, stating that it falsely claimed he was convicted of financial crimes. This may set the precedent for liability when AI hallucinates with real-world harm. Some questions this brings up: the new defamation frontier. What happens when an AI falsely accuses someone of a crime? Is it liable or just a bad autocomplete? There is a legal shield, Section 230 versus product liability. OpenAI is protected like a platform, not a publisher, but is that sustainable? And what about precedent setting? If this lawsuit or the next one succeeds, it could open the floodgates for similar claims, especially in journalism and politics. And does that mean that there'll be hallucination insurance coming soon? Will companies need policies to protect against AI-driven misinformation or slander? Tensions with OpenAI's no memory claims. OpenAI says ChatGPT doesn't remember users between sessions, yet people are claiming personal harm from hallucinated memory. Just from my own experience, I definitely utilize AI when researching, articles and headline topics. I like to think that we do pretty deep dives into what the sources of all that information are. And I think that's kind of where the balance is. But you can actually see, really how tempting it is, when you use AI, which is super powerful, and you're moving fast, you might not vet everything that's being stated. So, I mean, one thing that I've noticed that is really kind of a big deal is that it's super easy for us to be blown away by the tools that we have at our fingertips, even the free stuff, where it's really, really intelligent about how it puts things together, and we can be lulled into its affluence there, sort of wooing us into what it's saying being correct, when in fact it makes mistakes. I mean, like in my case, for a lot of the stuff that I do for the different shows, I notice that AI messes up a lot on dates and times, that are coming up in the future when I'm building out things for different shows. And I don't know if that's a factor of, AI never sleeps. So, it doesn't really know the difference between day and night. It's all one big thing for it. The concept of time, I think, is different for its consciousness there. So I definitely have to check on that. I also noticed that a lot of its links you have to vet and check as well. I don't know all of the mechanics behind why those things occur. I just know that from experience that all that stuff needs to be checked. So make sure that you don't fall victim or be wooed into AI being correct all the time. It even states in below every prompt in every AI tool that AI makes mistakes, so make sure to check your work as a disclaimer. So yeah, I don't know. Do you have anything to add on that front, Rick?
Well, no, I think it simply said is AI is a work in progress, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I believe that's all the mainly the point. But it's getting better than better. All right. So I also have just one more here. Let me see if I can share this. Grok. Finally. So Grok video generation is coming with a
Spicy mode.
spicy mode. Yeah. I don't know what is that. I have not read this one. Elon Musk's AI has announced a new Imagine, but this is so okay. 10 data economy. So okay, I don't think the anything too crazy gonna be shown up here. So Elon Musk AI has announced a new image feature for its Grok chatbot that can generate videos with sound from text prompts. That's good. Teasing it as an AI Vine. Okay, so AI Vine, I believe it's because of the memes. So let me see. Is this too long? So what I want to find now, because I got curious because of that title, is what the spicy thing is all about. So download the Grok app and subscribe to try out our video generator, the generation beta and Valentine slash Annie. Nothing crazy here. So maybe they just brought that just for access to the Imagine feature is tied to a premium subscription tier. Super Grok, the paid tier required for early access, carries a monthly fee of $30. Whoa! I'm gonna keep the $30 and buy a ticket to Mars. I think it's $30. Oh wow! Okay. Uh, the subscription model suggests XAI's intention to monetize the advanced AI video generation capabilities. Prior to the formal announcement, Elon Musk allured to the impending feature, teasing the bringing back Vine, but in AI form. That's cool. This statement references the once popular social media platform Vine, known for its short video. And I have a video here that it kind of exemplifies what they are talking, which was discontinued by Twitter in 2017. The reference suggests a potential focus on brevity and shareability for Grok's AI-generated videos. We are bringing back Vine, but in AI form. All right, so that's cool.
Why did it say Vine was discontinued?
Let's see. I think they didn't. So known for its short form video content, which was discontinued by Twitter in 2017.
Or was it just outdone by TikTok?
So, truth be told, there was actually something after Vine. There was not TikTok. I don't remember what it was.
It's hard to keep up. I think what is there, streams or reels or something like that?
Because those things are like, yeah, like maybe the shorts, YouTube shorts, but was something that was also comic, but very short. Yeah, but I don't know. And I don't even know. Oh, no, Vines was Twitter. That's what they said here. Maybe it was TikTok. I really don't know. But you know what? Something that it's not, did not happen. Let me show you guys before I show you some of the productions they made, some of the videos they made with the Grok. Is this? It's like, come on, X. Let's update your website. So the last info we have here is July 9th. I think it would be cool to have it here and some examples as well, right? All right, so done with that. Let me go with and see if I have some Grok videos. So I'm gonna show you guys here are Grok videos. So I'm not gonna dare to say his name, or maybe I will. Shibetoshi Nakamoto reply for a Grok image video of your PFP profile. Not sure, profile picture. So okay, so this is basically an image that became a video. So it would be cool to have like the picture of before and the video after. So this is the example that I want to bring, Eric Jung. So Grok Imagine is about to forever change the meme game. So this was a meme. Okay, nothing too funny, nothing too crazy here. Whoever saw this meme before is just a picture of the this guy looking at the girl in red and his girlfriend kind of shocked at him, but now it's like weird motion back, so on and so forth. So okay, so for a first Grok video or examples, that's okay. You should not expect changing of the world for a first one. But the very good thing is that they're gonna have audio. Let me see if there's audio here.
And the idea here is that was taken from. I can hear that.
You can? Perfect. So does the audio make sense?
It just sounds like traffic. I don't hear any human.
Gotcha.
Noises.
So you were asking?
So the idea here is that video started from a still image, or
Exactly.
okay.
Yeah, that's what it was. Yeah, I'm gonna remove the screen here. So this week was pretty crazy. Like there was other things that happened as well. One, just briefly saying, is I believe it's VO3. They had such a cool way to edit, to create video. So basically, you upload the image, and on the image you make the drawing of what you wanted to move, how you wanted to move, and then it would create the motion. So that is pretty impressive. That's pretty cool. Yeah.
You mean like you sketch lines and curves and things to represent trajectory? Or?
And the simplest, the better. So just a square or a circle around the area you want some action, and just make an arrow, and then a command.
Neat.
Pretty cool.
Yeah, very nice.
Yeah.
Right.
I mean, we have a few extra minutes to rest, so that's cool.
Yeah. All right. I guess we're good then. All right. Well, that's a wrap for episode 16 and your daily AI news. Thank you so much for joining us and participating. Please email us with any questions or commentaries or comments that you have at yourdailyaInews@gmail.com. Please like and subscribe and turn on alerts. You can also visit renegadechronicles.com. You can RSVP there to these events, and also there is a blog associated with each episode available there too, which will update. It kind of goes with our show notes. Takes us a little while to get the transcripts from the show and then actually turn that into something that is readable. So have a wonderful week, everybody.
Thank you all.
And thank you so much.